Welcome to myccr.com, which is known as My Canadian Canoe Routes. This site contains an extensive database of canoe trip planning information that has been made freely available to the general public. Most of the material is donated by users who have traveled in remote areas throughout Canada and the United States, and have shared their experiences by recording trip reports both in the Routes database and forums. In order to retrieve route-specific information, under the Routes menu select Browse Trip Report Database. For example, we are going to retrieve a trip from Algonquin Park. So there is a map of Canada and the United States, and you can select a geographic region. Under Ontario, there are two subdivisions for Northern Ontario and Southern Ontario. We are interested in Algonquin Park, which you can see has its own territory on the map. There are also links at the bottom here available for each of the regions. At the bottom of each of these pages, there is a list of all the routes within the region. Routes can be sorted by distance and duration by clicking on the column headers. By going to the third page, we find the route for the South River. The entry includes technical details for the trip, access information, and the author has written a log to describe a typical itinerary. Many entries also include GPX files. Otherwise, interpretation of the route information requires that you already have at hand a relevant map. To get to the forums, select the link on the right end of the menu. Under the advertisement, on the right there is a button to perform a search in the forums. In the first text box, you can add relevant keywords. In this case, enter Algonquin South River, and under the Search in Forums box, select Ontario Trip Reports. Click Search. To perform a general site search, select the link in the top menu, and it will search the entire website. Select the first checkbox for all of the resource databases. To get to the recipe database, under the Trip Prep and Food menu, hover on Food and Recipes, then select Recipe Collection. Entries here can also be sorted by clicking on the column headings for the number of servings, difficulty, and whether the ingredients are dehydrated or not. Entries consist of what you would find in any cookbook. From the top menu, select Nastawgan. Nastawgan is the quarterly journal of the Wilderness Canoe Association and has been published continuously since 1974. On wildernesscanoe.ca there is a link to the journal index. Pick Trip Information and a new window opens with a list of all the articles published and sorted primarily by the name of the river. You can do a browser search and type in Silver Peak. This will highlight an article from 1984, Quarter 3, page 15. Then go back to the Nastawgan page, open the archives, and for the 1980s, select 1984 from the list. Pick the fall issue of 1984. On page 15, there is an article about reaching Silver Peak, Killarney, in March. These articles are often about more challenging and remote areas of Canada.